You will be mighty. Listen, the kingdom of God advances on the wings of the spirit and on the wings of finances. It says, cry out, my kingdom through prosperity shall yet be spread abroad. The second law of the blessing is the law of humility and brokenness. I've showed you already. Hebrews 7:7. It said, without every contradiction, the less is blessed of the better. The moment you think you are big, you have disqualified yourself from the blessing. It said, when you were small in your own eyes, did I not make you king? There are many people, they were humble, sweeping the church, serving in their workplaces, they were serving. They didn't know why they were attracting favor until suddenly they are promoted and they became commanders. Hey, get here. Oh, come on here. Do this. And they command their way from the top to the bottom. It said God resists the proud, but he giveth more grace to the humble. He was talking to believers, not unbelievers. So the person who is qualified for more blessing is the man who is broken. This is why even though David sinned more than King Saul, and this is not endorsing sin, David was the one that walked continually in the blessing. Because when you tell David you have sinned, in the public he can tear his clothes. But Paul was so conscious, I'm a king. Even when Samuel wanted to rebuke him, he said, no, not the public, the people are watching. The people are watching. You violate God, you are conscious that the people are watching. Meanwhile, David doesn't care whether the people are watching. In the public, he rents his clothes, sits down, and pours ashes on his head. Every time God looks upon him, he is qualified for more blessing. David was the only man God blesses even when he's in error. The people are watching. Is it the people that made you king? God made you king. God made you a global figure. God made you a governor. God made you a ruler. Now you are conscious of the people. The people will walk you out of office. He said, a contrite heart and a broken spirit thou shalt never despise. Psalm 51 verse 17. So David knew the secret, that the way to walk with this spirit and to command his blessings is always to be a child, to be a baby in his hands. Some of us have become so big that we can't even kneel down in church again. And I'm not saying you must religiously kneel down, but once upon a time you could roll before the Lord, but now you are the guest minister. So there's a way guest ministers stand. So when you come for the conference, you have to stand like a guest minister and look straight, and once in a while you nod your head. You have been blessed. A day will come, you will leave the stadium and start preaching in mushrooms. The Bible said the 24 elders, day and night, they fell from their throne. They cast their crown. I don't care about my reputation. If it has to do with authority, I can strip at any time. That's a man qualified for the blessing. The Bible said he stripped himself of the garment of divinity, so God exalted him. If you have arrived, then your journey have ended. Because your journey actually ends when you arrive. Meanwhile, some people have arrived at the age of 23 as fellowship presidents. Some people have arrived as student union government president on campus. Meanwhile, there are different cadres: councillor, chairman, governor, senator, president. But they arrived as SUG secretary general. So their politics and their political career ends on campus. Have you not seen many SUG presidents? After 10 years, they are touts in the garage. Some people arrive as JCCF president. So on campus, they are papo. The moment they graduate, you see them later, 5 years later. You can't even recognize papo anymore because he arrived as a JCCF president. So his ministry finished on campus. Some arrive as NCCF papo. So their ministry finished in NYSC. When they finish NYSC, many years later, you see them, they say, oh boy, no easy. You know, easy. They have finished their ministry. The day you arrive, that's the day you end. A contrite and a broken spirit, the Lord shall not despise. When you see men walking in dominion perpetually, this is the secret. Some of us, we are fellowship president. No matter how the praise and worship is going on, that's our own. Meanwhile, you are seeing Dr. Paul and Enche dancing like a baby. You are a fellowship president. I'm not saying copy him. I'm just talking about simplicity and humility that is now lacking in our generation. You see Bishop Oedeko dancing like a baby, but you are big because you have 20 people in the fellowship. You are walking like this during praise and worship. Even your local government, your ministry will not grow past it. Even the ones who don't know how to dance, you see them laboring on the altar just to show you they have forgotten their reputation. You, is only in your bedroom you dance. When you get to your bedroom, you do all the steps. But when you come to the public, you are a cherubim. So you come with a cherubic garment, and there's a way you walk. When everybody is standing, lifting their hands, worshiping God, you sit down like this. We are connecting to the spirit realm. Because the ranking princes, they are your colleagues. Both of you were talking that time when people were worshiping. You were talking with cherubims. You were picking the signals for the meeting. In the spirit realm, you are a clown. They are looking at you like a clown. You meet a man that you should honor, but both of you are guest minister in that conference. That both of you are guest minister in that conference does not mean you are equal. Because you want us to, hey, man of God, how are you doing? Yeah. And then you stand and snap. That's the last time you will function at that level. People you should honor, when you see them, you hustle to snap. And then you put on Facebook, I was with my brother. Many people, their fathers have become their brothers. To make a statement, you will only be on Facebook. We don't know power. See, the angels watch it. They say none shall break their ranks. If you break ranks in this kingdom, the kingdom will fight you down. Please sit down. It's a law of dominion. I say, don't mind me. I just sing once in a while so that I don't trouble you. High-minded people. All your ministry is on Facebook. You sit on one chair and you are premiering to 30 people. And then you are apostle. You now come into the territory, you say, those of us who are apostles in Calabar. You are not an apostle in Calabar. You are an apostle on a page on Facebook with 30 followers. All your ministrations are on the internet. Nobody on ground to minister to. Do you know what it means for a city to come to a man? You see a man taking the whole city. You say, we are colleagues. Even if you are older than him, kneel down. It's not age. We are talking reality in light. It's talking age. Who told you they know age in the spirit realm? Are you not aware that Aaron was older than Moses? I know you love mysteries, but take this to heart and practice it. If the devil wants to destroy you, it makes you conscious of yourself. But if you want power over princes, you must forget your reputation. The Bible says Jesus made himself of no reputation. Saul lost the throne because he was conscious of himself. David retained it because he was never conscious of himself. You have offended the Lord. Tap, he has torn his garment. He was dancing before the ark. Micaiah, who inherited his father's spirit, Micah told him, how can a king be dancing like this? And David asked her, is it your father that made me king? The one that made me king knew me when I was a shepherd in the jungle. Until tomorrow, I won't appear before him as a king. I will still appear before him as a servant. The third law of the blessing is the law of uprightness and truth. In Job chapter 1 verse 1, it said Job was a man that feared the Lord and eschewed evil. And he was the greatest of all the men from the east. He knew this secret. Every time a man violates the requirements of uprightness and truth, he becomes an enemy of God. Because he is the spirit of truth. Today, we have become politicians even on the altar. In a bid to create impression, we tell stories that never exist, exaggerate testimonies that never happen. At best, people in the auditorium will clap hand, but you have lost credit in the spirit. The same thing politicians do is what we now do on the altar. Why do you think many churches can no longer excel? The goal is now target, no longer truth. So pastors are lying. In my branch, we have 2,000 Sunday service. Meanwhile, that 2,000, maybe they had it once in an outreach. They now say our regular attendance is 2,000. Just to appear in headquarters that the church is doing well. He prays for the sick. One person is healed in a month. They say in our meetings, people get healed all the time. Little exaggerations, lying here and there. And then he knows this one cannot be a prince. Because princes live by truth. Their words carry power. They are creatures of authority. So they know what they say is a law and is binding in the spirit. They know when they speak, they can create and they can destroy. So there is a realm God can't take you to if your tongue is a lying tongue. If your life is not consistent with your message. They come out and they talk everything that is right. But meet them when they are alone. You can't even as much as look at their phones. Because it's full of garbage. So what we do is stage managing. We tell people what they should do. She goes out on evangelism. She is well dressed. But meet her on campus the next day. She's half naked. So her life is a betrayal of herself. There is no truth in our life. So God can't confer authority and dominion on our lives. Because we will trade it for mundane things. The moment a man begins to lie and exaggerate, it means he's looking for another approver other than God. So if God gives him dominion, he will use that dominion and trade it for that approval he's looking for. That's why I say do not give sacred things to swine. They will trample upon it and run back at you. They don't know the value. No matter how hard it is, tell the truth and suffer. Weeping endures for the night, but joy comes in the morning. Our light affliction are but for a moment. They work for us a far and exceeding weight of glory. It may not be working now. It doesn't mean it will never work. If you are 10, thank God for the 10 and trust him for 1,000. In his own time, you will even exceed 1,000. If you pray, only one person is healed. Thank him for the one who is healed and trust him for more. By all means, refuse the devil having a harvest in what you are doing. You are in politics, stay right. At least Daniel proved that through uprightness, one can rise in politics. They said they looked for an occasion against Daniel, they found none. Daniel 6:10, except in his walk with his God. 3 times, the man prayed facing Jerusalem. His goal was God. When the Hebrew guys were arrested, they said, why didn't you bow? They said, we will not be careful to answer you in this matter. We honor you, but we will not in a bid to honor you dishonor God. We will not be careful to answer you in this matter. If it is that image, we will not bow. The reward was a fire that was burning 7 times hotter. I will rather embrace that fire than embrace the king's approval and bow to another God. We must stay upright. If you will fail your exam, fail. Come for an extra year, write it. I'm not telling you that because you didn't cheat, God will give you a miracle. No, there is reward in labor. Come back, study and pass. But don't bow, because that 1 year of compromise can become 10 years of failure in life. The Bible said they had an evil heart, and God said every 1 day will become 1 year. So 40 days became 40 years. And it was not even about the years. All of them perished in the wilderness. The whole of that generation perished. Don't trade your future with momentary gratification. If you need to go through fire for truth, go through it. I've lost many things because of truth, but I thank God I did. I was teaching in a secondary school in my wilderness days. Preaching to these students, baptizing them in the Holy Ghost. The proprietress knew. The day they were writing chemistry practicals, she expected me to carry the questions, solve it outside, and come and give the students answers. I said, I will never do that. I lost favor and left the school. But today, even those students, they now call me apostle and they follow me. Imagine if I follow them to cheat in that exam hall. Today, which message will I preach to those students? Apart from the blessings, how will those students see me? Hundreds and hundreds of students. I would have taught them that the power of God can move even when you are sinning. Because I come to the class, the power of God move, but I go and follow them to cheat. They would have seen Christianity as a lie. Because I wanted to have favor with proprietors that was paying me 22,000 naira in a month. Today, If I carry my phone now, in all humility, there's an alert there while I'm preaching here. Because of 22,000 that I was working for. Just for proprietors to smile when I come to school. And there were many Christians. Because she smiled at them, they solved questions and gave to students in the exam hall. Till today, they are nowhere. If you will lose the job, lose it. It's an honor to go hungry for the sake of the kingdom. He said, blessed are they that hunger, that suffer reproach and persecution for the sake of righteousness. He didn't say God will do a miracle. He said, but in that reproach, they are blessed, that they are able to stand for God. The men you see walking in many blessings today, if you know what they went through, the same things you are going through as young people now. They had a time when they needed to change their exam figure. They had a time when they needed to manipulate their CV. They had a time when they had the opportunity to compromise. They said no. It looked as if their life was delayed for 3 years. But what God does for them today in 1 day is more than what they would do in 3 years. Those days I was in that school, earning 22,000 in a month. In 1 year, that was about 300,000. Today, in 1 weekend, I earn more than 500,000. What I was earning in a year is nothing compared to what I earn in a week today. If I won that woman's favor, I would have been in that school till today. Joseph rejected Potiphar's wife. And what did he receive? 13 years of imprisonment. But when he came out after prison, the Bible said until the time that his word came, the word of the Lord tried him. It was not the senator that sent for him. It was not Potiphar that sent for him. He said the king sent for to lose him. Even the ruler of the people, to bind his princes at his pleasure and to teach his senators wisdom. So Joseph was not in prison. Joseph was in a school of training senators. What you see as a momentary setback is actually promotion in disguise. Stand for the truth. Why did his brothers hate him? Because he brought an evil report against them to their father. All the evil they did, he told their father. And they hated him. They threw him into a pit, sold him for slavery. They thought they were selling him. Many years later, when Joseph interpreted it, he said, God send me ahead of you to preserve a generation. If you will go for a pit for truth, go there. That's God's manipulation for taking you to your throne. And by the time you arrive at your throne, no man can take the glory. No man. Because you journeyed into the throne from a pit to a houseboy service to a prison, and then you appeared on the throne. Others may journey to the throne from Harvard University. But for you who is a kingdom man, sometimes you go to the throne from a pit. We are a generation of people that are used to compromise. It's so natural. So natural. The lady compromises and she leaves her boyfriend's house straight for Sunday service. And she's on the altar singing. I have a very big garden. You think it's about voice. The pastor is coming for miracle service, yet he's chatting a lady. Dirty conversation. He comes and stands on the altar and begins to shout. And he thinks because people are shouting and even falling down, something is happening. We are a joke. That's why we don't have dominion. We may have churches. We may have people in attendance because even our generation is not looking for truth. So we may have a lot of people in attendance. But when you go to society, you will know we don't have dominion. Many will leave this meeting and like the 3 Hebrew boys, they will tell the adversary, I'm not careful to answer you in this matter. They may tell you, you will go into a furnace, throw me there. Daniel was cast into the lion's den. His miracle came in the lion's den. You wouldn't have known that lions don't eat everybody, except as Daniel refused to compromise. You wouldn't have known that fire doesn't burn everybody, except as Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego refused to bow. You wouldn't have known that people can walk in the wilderness and eat manna from heaven, except as Israel rose up and cried to the Lord. The life of compromise is a deception of the devil to take your throne from your head, your crown from your head. You think you are making a headway, wait until after 10 years. Then you will know. Most of my friends who compromised many years ago, today I can pay them. And I had the opportunity of compromising. And the least thing we have is money. Influence in the spirit to change things in territories. Because we live, you choose the life of truth and uprightness. Forget that garbage that nobody can be righteous. It's a lie. You make up your mind and commit yourself to God. The Spirit of God will make it happen. Laws of dominion. The final law is the law of the fear of the Lord. These are the things that make men walk in the blessing, not impartation. Impartation is to activate something in you. But to walk in it, there is a consecration that must power it. Nobody walks in the blessing. See, the weight of a spiritual man is the weight of his consecration. I know these things. See, I experimented a lot of things. Thank God I didn't die in the process. If I tell you the men that have imparted me, you will shout. But I realize impartation is a seed. It's your consecration that nurtures it to germinate into a tree. You can die with those seeds of impartation and be nothing. This is not a healing meeting. But if I command sicknesses to go now people will be healed. Now. They will even off the keyboard before I do it. If I want the power of God to begin to move now, I can change this service to a power service. But there are laws and consecration that powers it. We look for the easy way out. Somebody blew on you. And then you say, when they want to carry you up, you even refuse for some time. You are waiting for the breath to saturate you. And then when you are going home, you are walking like this. You now fall somewhere. You stand up. You fall again. And then you went home and laid on your bed and slept. When you now woke up, you say, now you are apostle. Why do we love deceiving ourselves so much? Why? You are deceiving yourself and you are enjoying it. What is wrong with our generation? We deceive ourselves. The guy is talking about prayer. Prayer, he's not praying. He's talking about purity, holiness. He's a fornicator. And he knows. If a man tries to deceive you, you can forgive him for insulting your intelligence. But when you now deceive yourself, who are you? It means you are a clown. Refuse to deceive yourself. In Deuteronomy 29:29, he said, the secret of the Lord is with them that fear him. He will show them his covenant. In this kingdom, we rule by secrets, not by common opinion or popular opinion. In human politics, in human politics, you can excel by popular opinion. So you come online because everybody is fighting church. You too fight church to become popular. That's human politics. Because somebody gave to the poor and everybody is praising him. You too, you go and buy one carton of Indomie. You give to a poor and put online. That's human politics. In the spirit, people don't rise by popular opinion. They rise by verdicts and legislation from the mouth of God. And the way to do it is to have access to divine secrets. There are men that know what to do, and they will lock the heavens in Calabar. If you like, go and do VG. When Elijah said there shall be no rain, there are 7,000 intercessors and remnants in Israel at that time. God himself told 7,000 people that have not bowed to Baal. But the secret Elijah knows, those 7,000 don't know. So when Elijah locked the heavens, they were praying. But their prayers couldn't change it. You know, we come now and say, we are all born again. We are all equal. We are all equal. The experiences of your life should already tell you you are deceiving yourself. Sir, we are not all equal.